Everybody's always like, when is Angel going to do this? When is Angel going to do that? Angel is me, bro. Yo, what's up and welcome just back to Angel's Reach as always. Forgive the hair. I just woke up. I showered last night and my hair is all types of way after drying up after that. So, bedhead and all, I'm going to go take a shower before work and deal with that. But as of right now, the 2007 mockumentary family comedy movie Surfs Up, made by Sony's Animation, directed by Ash Brandon and Chris Buck, is a underrated classic. And I saw it not too long ago. Actually, I saw it just before going to see Over Your Dead Body, which I already discussed on another Film Friday. And I don't think I'm going to drop this on a Film Friday. I think I just want to talk about this movie, and with good reason. And that being, it's such a feel good story about purpose and finding yourself and going against the grain. Because if you are familiar with the movie, essentially the whole plot of the movie. Oh, actually, let me actually talk about the cast, because it's kind of packed with Shia LaBeouf playing Cody Maverick, the main character, Jeff Bridges playing a sort of mentor character to him, John Heder playing the comedic relief, aka Napoleon Dynamite, plays a sick rooster character, comedic relief. Let me see. As well as James Wood playing making an appearance as Reggie Belafonte, being like the sleazy promoter, and even Zoe Deschanel playing a fantastic love interest in the movie, just to sweeten the deal. You know what I mean? Just throw in a little je ne sais quoi to the simple kid story and stuff, love interest, simple stuff like that. But what I really do love about this movie is primarily the mockumentary style that it I was gonna say innovates, but and like it sort of introduces, and it is unashamed to sort of play into the I don't know. I feel like when I was a kid, I didn't remember this movie as much as I remembered like Happy Feet, but I was probably too like I probably took it too seriously, because I remember being a kid in like either second or third grade, and like there was like a um what's it called? There was like a little small carnival thing happening in our downstairs gym, and uh you would go to face paint, and then you'd go to the bouncy castle, and then you'd get some food, and then there was like a little corner when you were done with all that where you just sit down and watch a movie. I'm pretty sure that's where I saw Surfs Up. I just remember having like it wasn't like cotton candy. I think it might have been like some popcorn in like a little bag or something, and I was just eating it with my face painted and stuff. It was a really sweet memory, but very childish to be honest, very much so. Oh my god, can you believe this, man? What's going on with my fucking hair? Mad scientist fade. Yo. um so Surfs Up, I remember very loosely from my childhood, but I do remember it, and I went to go rewatch it because it was free. I've got a whole list of movies free on YouTube, and I really recommend you go check out free movies on YouTube, because I don't know if you get them in ads, but even if you get them in ads, I mean it's fine. You know what I mean? It's a movie. It's better than like streaming services paying $20 a month for, you know. I mean, but uh Surfs Up, yeah. If you aren't familiar with the plot of it, it essentially revolves Shia LaBeouf's character Cody Maverick, from Antarctica, trying to prove that he's one of the best surfers in the world, and it's a very funny concept, you know, penguin surfing. But it's mostly about Cody's struggles to prove that, and constantly throughout the movie, and as you soon come to learn via Zeke, surfing is about sort of being with one with the wave, and you know, letting loose, relaxing, having fun, and that's what sort of that's how you win, I guess, in surfing technically. But Cody is more concerned with points and actually winning, and the glory of it all, you know, being like Big Zeke. He tells a story in the beginning about how Big Zeke personally went up to him, and then in the actual memory flashback you can see that he pushed forward into the crowd, and then Cody says something about how he gave him a specific like necklace, and it was like handcrafted, and then you can in the flashback it cuts to one of Zeke's friends holding out like an armful of like all those necklaces, and it perfectly describes the naivety or the naivety. Oh my god, it shows how naive kids are and like how warped their perception of time and like experiences and memories are. You know what I mean? Like in his head, he really did pick him out individually and like give him the handcrafted thing, and that gave him purpose. But in actuality, he was just some you know. He was just some cool surfer guy that wanted to be like a nice little role model, and ended up getting a little bit more than he bargained for in a weird way. Not that like he was too burdened by Cody being by Cody looking up to him, but the whole plot of the movie consists around this character named Big Zeke, who's like the surfing legend, who one day passes away from like a big wave, and the I think every year after that they made like a surfing contest in commemoration of him to like sort of pick out the best surfer, and it's been the same guy for the last 9 years. This character named Tank, who actually is my favorite character in the movie, just because he's such a like a boulder like meathead character that's so like he's so one dimensional. It actually is funny because all that he's just like this big buff like cool surfer guy who just loves trophies, you know what I mean? And it's such a funny trope for a character, and it works perfectly fine because he's like, oh, I'm like this like big surfer dude, get out of my way, I'm killing all these like baby surfers while I'm doing it. And I'm like, oh, what does it mean to surf? Oh, to fucking get a trophy. And it's like a really funny like a break from the seriousness that is Cody's journey, because Cody is really hard stuck in his ways, and then it takes him a while to for Big Zeke, who eventually ends up or Big Z, who we eventually come to find out is Zeke, the like sort of fat mentor that Cody discovers on this island where they're going to be participating where they're actually going to be uh competing in the tournament, inside tournament. And so when he finds Big Zeke and he doesn't recognize him, and he learns of him, or like he spends some time with him for a bit, he eventually learns that it is Big Z, the original surfer, and he wants to learn from him. And it takes Cody a while to learn the lesson that Big Zeke is trying to teach him, which is that surfing is about having fun and letting loose, and that's the only way to really win is to have fun. And you get this really like emotional backstory about how Big Zeke was surfing and then just lost it, and then he saw sort of time slipping away from him. He saw Tank becoming the new Big Z. He saw himself, the queen is fading, you know what I mean? He saw himself becoming slower, and he couldn't accept that. He was like, it's hard for me to admit that I'm not the best anymore. And instead of, retiring, he faked his death so he didn't have to have that pressure of, calling out and being like, I'm not the best anymore. And it's really sad when you think about it, to be unable to recognize, you know what I mean? That like, it's also a heartbreaking thing to realize you're not the same person you are anymore. Oh, sorry. But it's one thing for like a 50-year-old to be like, I can't tightrope across the Twin Towers anymore, but it's a whole nother thing to be like, I can't stand up the same way, or like I can't shoot basketball, I can't jump the same way without my ankles or like my elbows cracking or my knees cracking around. As you freaked on your fucking elbow cracks. My hair is tripping today, come on. Jeez Louise. Yeah, so Surf's Up. The primary or the primary message that this movie aims at kids, because it also has like a sweet romantic like guy gets the girl sort of thing at the end, with Cody and Zoe Deschanel's character Lonnie. It Outside of like one of those like sweet like all the guy gets the girl sort of things, what you really learn from this movie is obviously like having fun is the best part, and learning to like be yourself and accept who you are, even if that means going against the grain, because I mean it's not meant for everybody. Again, one of my favorite parts of the movie is how mockumentary style it was and how they played into that. A lot of my favorite moments in this movie were just the camera losing focus from whoever they were filming, or changing focus, or like going from one thing to another, or even Big Zeke. There was a moment where uh, where Cody was in trouble, I think, or something like that, and he or Lonnie maybe, and then he like exited his hut and then like he shooed away the cameramen and like they like moved out of the way and stuff and moved behind a tree. It was really fun and like creative and um it like the mockumentary style added like so much humanity to the movie. They got like some like surfers to actually talk about why surfing is important. They got clips of Cody with his family in Antarctica, and then they had like close up interviews with James Wood character Reggie Belafonte, which were like really funny like breaks in between the seriousness of the movie, because although it was a comedy, there were so many aspects of comedy like Tank and James Wood character and even Chicken Joe, which I didn't talk about too much, and he was a really great character too. He actually ended up winning the surfing tournament and the Big Z tournament because throughout the movie you could see he was just this laid back, relaxed chicken, and like that's what it was all about. You know what I mean? That's what surfing was, is just enjoying yourself, having a good time, and like I'm sure like points and stuff were awarded, but that's sort of what didn't make too much sense, why he ended up at the end. But again, if the whole movie was about being yourself and not being afraid to like go against the grain and just let loose and truly let go and be yourself. I mean, Chicken Joe was the one doing it from the beginning. Again, John Heater, known famously for Napoleon Dynamite, plays a really great comedic relief, as well as James Wood character Richard Belafonte. I think the idea of like the sleazy producer trying to, you know what I mean, get one up on the mockumentary and like make himself look better and stuff like that. I think that that was such a clever take. And like obviously you get that in real documentaries and stuff. People, you know, hyping it up for the camera, and it's so funny. It's so funny, and so yeah. Uh, vocally, like the performances were all right. You know what I mean? I didn't remember Shia LaBeouf being Cody Maverick when I was a kid, but I guess I didn't know him from too much. And Jeff Bridges, who plays Zeke. Wait, where's the guy who plays? I gotta find the whole cast, because there is a character that I am quite fond of. Mikey, I believe. Is it Mikey? The bird? I think so. I think Mikey's the bird, the talent scout, and he's another funny character. And I think honestly all the characters are really funny. It's a comedy movie after all, but really what sticks out to me is obviously the message, but just yeah, just how everything comes together. Just like they're all a bunch of funny like moments, but also Cody becoming one with himself and constantly being doubted by like his family, by his peers, by people around him. Like just I don't know. It just hits really hard. It's another one of those like uh Spider-Man movies where it's like 1,000 to 1 odds or something like that. And granted, I don't think he technically won, but yeah, it's just like when the whole world seems against you and stuff like that, or when you feel like you aren't doing what the whole world wants you to do, or you aren't going in the same direction everyone else is going. I'm nothing like y'all for real. It's the fish jumping out of the bowl. You guys know what I'm talking about. But if you know, you know. But yeah, sometimes it feels like you're going the wrong way. Sometimes it feels like you're riding the biggest, loneliest wave there is, and you just don't know what to do. And sometimes you just gotta let go, let loose, be yourself, and be honest with yourself, and you'll win. You know what I mean? So Surf's Up, 2007 classic comedy animated movie, Sony. It's free on YouTube. I definitely recommend to go watch it. It's super fun, super fun. Can't understand how fun it is, but it's also just a sweet, feel good classic for the whole family. I just recommended it to a regular to watch with his kid and his daughter, or just himself. You know, a little spliff and watch movie action. Who's stopping him? Max, if you're watching, shout out. But yo, I think that's gonna be it for today. I don't think that was a film Friday. I think I've got too many movies lined up, and I want to talk about surf stuff. So, actually, I think I talked about Over Your Dead Body earlier. I'm probably gonna drop this before I drop that, because I've got that lined up. So, watch that too. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Whatever. I forgot to say whatever.